Everybody say hi to my wife.
But don't turn the camera, I look crazy.
Welcome to Maker's Hustle, the podcast about turning your passion into a profession. This is episode 24 for Monday, December 26th, 2016. I'm your host, Bill Lavolsi, and here are my co-hosts, Amy Davis-Roth. Hello, Amy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And Jeffrey Moore. Hey, Jeff.
Glad to be back, Bill. Hello, Amy.
Hey.
We're also joined this week by a special guest, Curtis Gardner. Say hi.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, Curtis. Thanks for joining us. This is gonna be
thanks
fun.
for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So before we get rolling, I want to take a moment to thank everybody on Patreon, but especially our top supporters, Luis Gonzalez and Ryan Ohoro. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
If you would like to support the show, you can check us out at patreon.com/makershustle. And if you've been listening for any amount of time, you know that we give away all kinds of cool stuff, and we have special bonuses for our patrons. I think we're due to release another outtakes reel, so that'll be coming up pretty soon.
I love those. Those are so funny.
All right.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun to do. I get to go back through and go, oh yeah, I remember that.
I
had to cut that out of the show.
Yeah, that terrible thing Amy said. Let's put that in now.
Yeah, woo. So, what are you working on?
All right. So this week, working on a couple of things. Finished up the website. I'm going to promote that at the end of the episode. Was working on the robots. I was able to finalize some designs on the robots, and I've been hard at work putting those together. And it sucks because I really forgot how long it takes to work on them. And, you know, in between cooking and watching cartoons, it gets very, very daunting, and it takes a whole lot more time than I originally planned for it to take. So that was kind of cool. And then, you know, just the regular stuff. It was a nice, easy week. Nothing too strenuous. Nothing that, you know, got a lot of naps and excited for the long weekend. So
Nice. Amy, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so my quiet but genius husband had a really great idea for me. He said that I should go back and dig through all my old art portfolios from the 80s and 90s and pull out all my old punk rock designs that I did when I was younger and turn them into screen print type designs and start making t-shirts out of them and stuff, because a lot of the messages from back in my old, you know, question authority punk days are now quite relevant again now. And so, yeah, that's what I've been working on. Yeah, to me, those are the old days. And,
We talking like the Reagan years here or what?
Yeah, I'm talking like the Reagan years.
Okay.
So I have been digging through all my stuff, and I found some really cool old photographs and just really cool stuff when I was an angry youth. And I'm turning a bunch of that into art for my Redbubble shop. So keep an eye out for that, because I'm working on all of that for the next couple weeks, because it is the end of the holiday rush for me. So I don't really have a lot of surly-ramics stuff going on. I have a few custom orders, but nothing too stressful. So I get to mess around and have a lot of fun and make new art. So I'm really excited about it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Having a good time.
all right.
Curtis, how about you?
For what? My week? How was my week?
Yeah, what'd you do this week?
Worked a lot. Try to make a little extra money, make things easier for me in the future. So, you know.
Now, is that your day job or your business?
Yeah. I did a little bit of both. I have 2 other jobs other than my business. Today was actually my last day at one of them, so I'll be having my business go full time.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love hearing that.
We're all about ending the corporate plantation.
There's something magical about leaving your job. It just feels really good.
Yeah.
My leap of faith time right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a little
That's
scary,
awesome.
but you're going to wake up tomorrow and feel really good. So there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's see. I did. I put out a video this week because I'm doing a video every week. I had a project in mind and it was almost done, but then around Tuesday afternoon, I realized there's no way I'm going to finish this in time. And I tried to release my videos on Wednesday. So instead, I had to throw something else together because I wanted to get a video out. So I made a Festivus poll, which, okay, bit of an old reference. Yes.
Young non-white people what that is,
Yes,
please?
for the young non-white people in the
I have
audience.
no idea what a Festivus poll is.
Okay.
No clue.
Yeah.
Just smile and shake your head.
Yeah.
All right. So it you know, the funny thing is I didn't even watch Seinfeld when it was on. It was a little bit before my time. Like, I didn't get the humor. I was too young for it.
Right.
But there was an episode where George's dad hates Christmas. He hates the commercialism of Christmas. He hates the religious aspects of Christmas, so he makes up his own holiday. And instead of putting up a Christmas tree, he puts up an aluminum pole.
Wow.
So I made a Festivus pole. So it is an anti-commercial, non-religious, non-denominational, completely secular, made-up holiday. And I made decorations for it. So I put a video out on that. And I talked a little bit about sponsorship. Last episode, actually, we talked a lot about sponsorship.
Yes.
The first shipment of my sponsorship stuff showed up. I'm expecting another box like any minute now, and that one's going to be a little bit bigger. But stuff has started showing up, so it's really happening. So that's really cool.
Oh, very cool. So
since we talked about it last week, I've had 4 or 5 people get in touch every single day asking if I'm still taking clients. So that's awesome.
Ooh, you're an agent now.
I know, it's scary. Do I
Can
have
you
to
give me
become
a
a
part?
jerk?
Can you give me a part in a movie or as a voiceover actor, please? I would really like to be a cartoon.
I'm not that kind of agent, but okay.
Well, I think that you have the potential, so I'm just going to put it out there.
I think skill sets just transfer.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, you weren't any kind of agent at all, so...
All right, you might have a point.
I mean, Oops. I did not know that was a bad word until Bill told me. So now he's going to have to beat me twice.
Yeah, twice.
No, it's okay.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yay!
Oh, this is going to be... No, it'll be after Christmas, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it'll be
this is
almost
coming out
New
the day
Year's,
after.
right?
So, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Ramadan. I don't know.
Happy Festivus. That was today.
Happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus.
Right? And
Happy New Year.
oh, so that's what we can wish people. All right.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that's
commercial
true. Okay.
time. From us here at Makers Hustle and our friendly guest, Curtis Gardner, we'd like to wish you a happy new year and lots of prosperous opportunities and great, I'm getting my very NPR voice on, and very prosperous new year. And make sure that if you don't do anything, make sure you hustle. Hustle very hard. I should have practiced that, but let's go with it.
Happy hustling New Year, babies.
Get your hustle on in the new year.
Get your hustle on in the New Year.
All right,
All right.
we got the post for that Monday morning.
Cool. So, we're being joined by a guest this week, Curtis Gardner. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business?
All right, so my business is Kurt Customs. Is meant to bring in my clothing line that I will be bringing shortly. But I started off making clothes because I was tired of paying so much money for different clothing. And the things were in style, so I really wanted to do it myself so I can save myself money. And then it kind of grew by people seeing me wear it and asking me to make them identical outfits. So
Nice.
I started like that. So it just started started growing just a little bit. So I got a little bit of buzz. I noticed a lot of other people started doing it. So people are noticing me doing it, and I got a few Bills players to buy some of my stuff. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, so it's growing.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about what Kurt Customs is?
Yeah.
We're gonna put some pictures up. I'll like screenshot some pictures of your clothes, but just give everybody a little bit of an idea of what it is, how you make it, and just what the inspiration was for it.
Okay, yeah, I won't give them all the juice, but
It's okay. Just give them a swig. Give them a swig.
So, Kurt Customs is really a way to express yourself through your clothing. So with the distressed look, you have tears and rips. It's almost like the old worn out look, because that's really in style. So it's different ways to address the worn out look through your clothing. So I'm trying to master it to where I can do so many different styles of the same thing and bring that out. And I use different bleaches, different solutions, and to bring out different colors in them. So I just do a mix of distressment and bleaching.
So it looks like you got in a fight and then you wear your clothes out.
Right. It looks like I got in an argument with my girlfriend and trashed my clothes.
Nah, you guys, nah. The thing about distressed clothing and why it's so great is because it looks like your favorite jacket that you've had for 15 years, but it's already broken in. That's one of the reasons why I love the whole distressed look. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the distressed look. All of my clothes look distressed because I haven't bought any new clothes.
Well,
And
you are so fashionable.
I'm sure your socks are.
oh, my socks are extremely distressed.
You know, I was thinking about coming out with a line of distressed socks. I'll just wear them for a while and then sell them.
And no shoe. Don't wear them with shoes neither. Just walk around and people be like, "Oh, are those distressed?" It's funny because remember that episode we were talking about art, where we were like, somebody had just put something there, and people were like, "Is that art?" Just because it's in a museum. Like, I feel like that's where fashion is heading. Like, anything you want to do, you can really just do it. And if it sticks, it sticks. If not, then try something else. It's so funny.
It's always been like that, though. Yeah.
See, he's an agent now. He was an agent last week, she said.
Yeah. No, but
if Phil likes it, he can make it go viral now.
Yes, and he can get you a sponsorship, too.
He's going to get us all in Teen Vogue, which is basically the coolest magazine right now, you guys. Teen Vogue.
None of that is true.
No, it's true.
What, the thing about Teen Vogue?
No, the part about me getting us in there. Like, none of that is true.
Could.
Just
okay.
No, I'm not doing that.
Don't oversell it.
It just takes attitude.
Yeah,
Bill's going to have a lot more clients this week. All right, so...
Amy opens her mouth and, like, work for me comes out. That's what happens.
All
right, so
I just have a lot of ideas. I'm an idea girl.
Well, let's focus here. We got to focus.
Okay.
Bring it back. All right, so the distressed clothing. Now, when you first started out, you said you wanted to just make your own clothes because you were tired of trying to keep up with the fashion trends, right? And then as you started to do that, people wanted to kind of get the same things that you were doing and just wear your clothes. Now, first off, where did you get your pricing model from? Did you make it competitive with the prices that are already out there? Or did you, undercut? Did you overcut? Like, how did you do? Can you overcut? I don't think you can overcut. But anyway, so yeah. So I'm interested in how you figured out how you were gonna, because this was you just doing it and somebody asking you. I think it's very important that a lot of people start to think about how can they value themselves and where they should put themselves as opposed to, the different prices that are already out there in the market.
Right. So I know a lot about some of the prices of the things that I wanted to buy that I didn't really want to spend on it because I knew in order to dress the way I wanted to, I would have to be spending a lot more money than I actually wanted to. So I kind of went a little bit based off that. I want to say 20%. And other than that, it was me really just wanting to make it a little bit affordable and want enough people to want to buy my stuff. So it was kind of just I have to be creative with it to where people like the style and it is affordable so people can still, buy it. So
you're trying to, at the same time, so you said you started making this stuff because you wanted to wear things that you couldn't afford, so you just made them yourself.
Right.
But then once you start using it as a business, you want other people to be able to afford those things too, so you try to keep it more affordable than like the actual like luxury brand distressed stuff.
Right.
Yeah, okay, cool. But that thing about where you make it for yourself and then other people start buying it, Amy, that sounds a lot like what happened to you.
That's exactly how my business started, so that's really fantastic. It makes me I'm really excited. But I have a jewelry business, and that's how it got started. It's a long story, but the listeners have all heard it before. So we'll just jump to the point, where I was working as a cocktail waitress, and I was making necklaces and wearing them into work, and people started buying them off my neck, and I ended up making more money selling the necklaces than I was making in tips, and that's how my business started. Yeah, so it's the same sort of thing. Like, I couldn't afford jewelry or anything at that point in my life. Anything that I had to make myself. So that's great. So do you make like single items or do you mass produce things? Like, how are you producing your clothing at this point?
What I'm doing is I buy from different businesses. I might get shirts from Walmart. I might get shirts from Target for try to find a decent price, and then I go into my distress and bleaching phase, and then I add my my labor on top of what I pay for the shirt. So depending on what I pay for the shirt, a lot of times the price can vary. So if I get a shirt for as cheap as just throwing a number out, say the shirt was $8, I'll charge maybe $15 for my labor, $20 maybe for my labor, and the whole process that I have to go through. And if the shirt's $20, I might charge maybe $40, $45 for a shirt, maybe.
Okay,
You
so
know?
you're getting at least 50%.
Yeah, trying.
You're getting pretty good margin. All right, so let me ask you a question. I know we're going to talk about how you plan to scale this business, which is important because at some point I think everybody needs to have some type of sustainable business, right, where they're making money outside of somebody else paying them for, direct services or being at a day job, right? So if you were to sustain yourself, I don't need you to give us a number, but is it reasonable for you to do that by making the clothes?
It depends on really the price of the material um, that I'll have to get, but that's a lot more learning that I would have to do. I eventually want to get into doing that,
Mm-hmm.
but right now I'm getting a lot of the clothes for a decent price, so it's not
Mm-hmm.
really hurting. So I
Okay.
might stick with that. I've been thinking about that a lot more recently, though. Um, I do want to get into making clothes from scratch.
Okay.
So eventually, because like I said, I started this because I wanted to make the clothes that I couldn't afford, but it's leading up to my clothing line. So I have a brand
Okay.
that's coming.
Okay. So basically, you're trying to build a community, build a base of people who like your clothes, who buy your clothes. And then once you have a good enough base that can sustain you, then you can bring them a new product that is completely your own and that you're paying less for. So your margins are bigger.
Exactly.
Oh, very
right.
smart. Very
That's
smart.
cool.
I like that. That's a smart strategy. I don't think we've talked about something like that before.
Well, it's once you started talking about that, I started thinking about different ways you could get from point A to point B. Like you said, you start buying shirts at retail, which is, I started screen printing T-shirts because when I started my business, I wanted some stuff with my logo on it, but I didn't have enough money to pay somebody to screen print like a box of 50 shirts or whatever it was. So I would just go buy 2 or 3 from Walmart, and I got a screen printing kit, and I just did it myself. And then I started selling a few. But then you get to a point where your time is worth more than, if you want to work on the business, you can't be sitting there making the clothes all day. So at some point, you either have to get somebody to do the sales for you, or you need to get somebody to help you make the clothes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you start looking at ways to reduce your material costs, like maybe you start ordering T-shirts by the carton or something,
Yeah, once you get a business license, you can order things wholesale. So
Yeah,
you can
there you
you can go behind the scenes and find out who's selling to Target or who's selling to Walmart, and you can actually buy from them. They may have, in those particular cases, they may have a very strict contract maybe with just Walmart, but there's lots of places that you can find shirts and stuff like that are wholesale.
Yeah.
That's
What is the because I don't know if we spoke about this, Kurt, but do you have a website for your business, or are you just promoting on social media and then you tell people if you want it first come first go? What is
you
it?
see, I
First
do that
come,
a lot.
first served.
There it is. Yeah. I'm sorry it's late.
I have been promoting a lot on my social media. I'm in the process of creating my own web page, so I won't have to have somebody else do it. So I've been starting. I have an actual music page for my music that I do, and I was going to have a side. I was going to add something on the side to where you see my Kurt Customs, and they give me a link to my other page that I'm creating for my clothes. So I'm going to separate the two or differentiate the two, but I'm working on it. So it's all in a.
It's funny. I forgot to tell you guys. He's
What's
a
up?
rapper.
So awesome.
This adds another layer to, just marketing, right? So when you think about scaling, you can really market your clothes and your music videos.
Exactly. That's all part of the plan, man.
I'm sorry. I'm letting the cat out the bag.
No, that's all good. No, that's all right. That's I would expect somebody to think that I'm gonna do that if they know I do music and do the clothes. It only makes sense for me to, promote during my shows or promote during a music video or anything I'm being seen. It would just make sense.
Yeah.
Well, we all do that too on this show. Like Amy, you talk about any sales that you have going on with your jewelry. I talk about whatever video I made this week. So
And I just talk.
Cool.
yeah, Jeff just talks.
Jeff just rambles on.
I just ramble. They can't shut me up. But no, that's very interesting because I think about, different ways. First, in this thing that we do, this Makers Hustle, I think we do a good job of cross promoting and just leveraging the brand of Maker Hustle and putting whatever other things we have going on, just like how I'm going to promote my website at the end. So I think that's good, but trying to find a way to integrate all the little things that we do is very important. We talk about vertical integration a lot on this show, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever other verticals you have going on, whether it be the music, whether it be the Kurt Customs, and lining it up with your new clothing brand. I think that's an excellent idea. You have any? And I will say this, right? If you're looking for help building your website, or just certain things, we have Bill Lavolsi here. He's a great.
He'll be your agent. He'll actually get you, some gigs all across the country too. So just
really?
be sure to email him later.
None of that is true either.
Well, Bill, I will have to get your email.
We're all about making connections here. Remember, the hustle never stops.
Right.
Cool. If you need some clothes, Bill, I can send you something.
Dude, I don't know if I don't know if I could pull it off, but
I think you could.
You can do anything you put your mind to.
That's right. You just gotta own it.
So,
yeah. All right.
Where?
Hold on. But Bill, let me ask you a question, Bill.
Okay.
If we're all right, so let's say that we were to take this Maker's Hustle thing to the next level, right?
Okay.
And I see that coming in the long run. I think we could create some type of, like clothing brand, like not just the T-shirt line, but some type of clothing brand. Maybe not call it Maker's Hustle. Maybe it'd be something else. But I think trying to find a way to connect. We've had on
We
Arthur.
should do shoes.
Shoes?
Yeah, because we're hustling, we're running around, we're doing stuff. We should probably do shoes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
That
don't
might,
think starting on shoes.
but I was just thinking about it, like the different people that we've brought on. I think between, we've have makers, we have clothing people. I guess they all are in the same makers, but like we have woodworkers, we have clothing people, we got an entertainment person, we got our author. I think we're doing a good job of building a little network here of people who can, really leverage some skills, leverage some talents, create some brands of our own. We might have to think about being a sponsor for somebody else.
Oh. Okay.
Even if
Big dreams, buddy.
no, I'm just saying, like, hey, I don't know what those sponsor checks for you are looking like, but maybe if we can kind of find a way to put some Maker's Hustle stickers on somebody's website or somebody's project, send them a check. I think that's something you got to start looking into, Bill.
All right. Okay.
Bill has to look into it.
Yeah, hey, he's the boss. Yeah,
Curtis, can we get you to put a couple Maker's Hustle stickers, like maybe on the back of one of your shirts at one of your shows? Can we get?
So you guys want to sponsor me? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but we're just gonna sponsor you with some stickers because we don't really have any money right now.
Okay, well, we can work something out.
So that is
but
the
we can
sponsor.
I have a great idea. We can get a Kurt Customs Maker's Hustle shirt.
Ooh.
Like a distress. Oh, that would.
I would wear that. I would wear that.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know what distress means, but I feel like I'd wear it too.
I would wear it.
Do it.
I would.
Let's do
A
it.
distressed Maker's Hustle. We get the robot.
Yeah.
A couple of cuts.
Now everybody's purpose coming into play right here. You get the
Yeah.
robot. You
Yeah.
can stick it on a robot maybe.
Oh my goodness, that's a brilliant
Create
idea.
the body of the robot with stickers like the skin.
Yeah, but I think about it because if we're all trying to grow here, Kurt, you have people who are never going to hear this podcast unless you tell them about this podcast, right? Same thing. We know people who are never going to see Kurt. I live in New York City. I used to live in Buffalo, so a lot of our friends are the same. But I have a whole network of people over here in New York City that may never see Kurt Customs unless I share it with them. Right. So the more people, the more ways we can find a way to vertically integrate the stuff that we already have going on. If we have somebody who makes clothes, we have somebody who makes necklaces, we can literally do a lot of things in-house to market each other's products. And whether it's either through a regular sponsorship or it's just, here, put this on your page, I'll put yours on my page, and we could just see what happens from there. I think that's a great way to scale your business.
Kill the game.
Curtis, do you make clothes for women? Are they unisex? Are they just for guys? What's your deal?
I make clothes for women. I do unisex and I do clothes for guys. So
Nice. Do you ever do any fashion shows or anything like that?
I've been asked to do a couple, but before I jump into one, I want to go to a few and just kind of get a feel of how everything works and learn a little bit. And I've been working on a few pieces because I'm doing a photo shoot soon with a few models, and then I'll get into the fashion shows.
Hey, why don't you send us some photos of your clothes and I'll custom make you some necklaces and I'll send them to you for free and you can put them on your models. How about that?
Oh,
that's amazing. Let's do that.
All right.
Oh,
That's how you do it.
Those
Right
gears
now.
are turning.
That's how you do
those
it.
gears are turning, I
All
have to
right.
say.
Yeah. So
So-
I'll make him some jewelry.
Curtis, I got to ask you. You said that today was the last day at one of your jobs,
Yes.
and you're going to take the clothing business full time. So what does the next step look like for you?
So the next step, really spending the time that I would be spending at my other job, and really going and starting to learn more. Take classes, like sewing classes, everything that I can get my hands on. Just really trying to get all of the knowledge that I need to take the next.
All right.
So
you're
what I can
kind
start
of
doing.
entering like a research phase
Right.
where you're gonna. Okay, that's cool. So you're buying yourself some more time to learn what you need to learn, so you can make this thing grow.
Right.
Okay.
Wow. Now, what made you make that decision? What made you say, it's time to do this?
Man, because time is not on our side, man. And I was just sitting thinking, I'm like, man, like time is flying. I was just in high school. Now it's 6, 7 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with all these kids that was my age. They doing the stuff that I used to love to do. That I'm still a kid in my mind. So I'm body like feel a little different. So I'm thinking like I'm getting older. I'm like, if I don't do this
Your
now,
beard is growing in a lot more.
see it. I haven't even been shaving. I ain't cut my hair. I'm not gonna show you. But I'm like, I'm just gonna save money. I'm just gonna grind it out and just really just go hard and just really train my mind to try to reach success. Because if I don't do it now, then I'm gonna be one of those persons that's about to die. And like, this is one thing I regret not trying to do. So I didn't want to be that person. So I want to do it with everything, with my music, with my clothes. And I do more things. I do a little bit of acting, so it's like so many different areas that I'm touching base on. But my main two things are going to be my clothes and my music.
That's cool.
Cool.
So let me ask you a question, man. And this is a very serious question that a lot of people who are thinking about taking that step that you're about to take or have taken have to really wrestle with. What was there a financial point where you said I need to have X amount of dollars in my bank account and I'm going to float myself for X amount of time before I start to stress? Or did you say I don't care, right now is the time, it doesn't matter how much money I have and it doesn't matter how long it's going to take?
That's kind of the mentality I had right there. I was like, I really don't care, because doing this is not doing. I had to think like, am I working to live or am I living to work?
Ooh.
And I was like, I have to really just do something that I feel like I like to do. Like, because I didn't start off loving making clothes. I started off loving music. But once I started making clothes, I was like, I like this. So I started doing it. And I really saw something in it. I was like, I just got to do it. I just got to take that faith. Now, I mean, you got to, if you don't jump, you'll never see if you can fly or not. So,
You're going to have to stop dropping these lyrics on us, man. every
poetic.
every 2 seconds it's a metaphor. I don't know how to keep up with you, man.
Well, man.
No, I mean, I give you a lot of respect for making that decision, because like I worked the same job for 10 years and then one day I got fired like it was nothing, And
Right.
I don't think I ever would have made the jump if it weren't for that. So like knowing it and figuring it out yourself and just deciding, you know what, I'm out. That's
Yeah.
Right.
I got a lot of respect for that, man.
Feels
Thank you.
good
Sometimes
to
it
do
takes
that.
Sometimes it takes that for you to do what you really
Yeah.
feel like you're called to do.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm actually I'm kind of in the middle. So I have a job, and I have a couple businesses on the side, and I don't have a number. It's funny, I don't have a number because I actually have enough money in my bank account to float myself for like 6 months, where I don't have to bring in another dollar. I'm sorry, wait, that was too much information, but that's not the point. The point, I have enough money, but I'm not jumping. And there's a reason why I'm not jumping. It's because I'm trying to buy a house and I need a pay stub. But the other thing is because I love my job. I don't feel like I need to be there every day. And so like yesterday we had the holiday party and I genuinely love the people that I work with. And I enjoy, being around those people. And I feel like if I was to leave my job, I would still probably spend half my time at the job, just hanging out and, just doing stuff. It's funny.
It's crazy to hear that. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. But and that's kind of where my struggle is. It's not, and I know that I would be a lot more productive, doing what I'd love to do, but at the same time, I have this internal struggle where I also love being an educator, and I love, the people that I work with. Again, I don't need to be there every day. There's a lot of times where I'm like, yo, if I was at home, I would be doing this, and it would be benefiting me more than me being in this office. But that is something that I'm going to have to deal with at some point in the next few months. And it actually hurts me knowing that. Like, I'm emotionally drained. It drains me emotionally that I have to deal with that struggle. So one way or the other, I'm going to have to make the jump. And it's,
Right.
so I think everybody's situation is different when it comes to figuring out when that time is, what has to happen for you to make that jump. And then when you make that jump, what challenges are you going to have to face, either with yourself, with your relationships, with your family, with your finances? Mm-hmm. Those things are man, it's scary, man. This stuff keeps me up at night.
Tie your shoes up.
Tie my shoes up.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You don't want to trip over your feet before you jump. You do your thing, man.
Doing these metaphors, man.
Oh, I like it.
No, that's funny.
I like that.
But
before you make the jump, tie your shoes.
I'm gonna write that down. Actually,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna put that as my Facebook status. Actually,
I was gonna say, Jeff. We're also going to have an audio recording of him saying that in case you forget.
Oh, right.
Just
don't.
All right, I'll have to listen to this one. I'm gonna re-listen to this episode just so that I can make sure I get all of the quotes.
Yeah.
Tie your shoes before you jump. All right, so Curtis, I've known you for a long time. I've always known that you were an artist. I knew that you could draw, right? So I think that was probably the first time that I realized that you was a creative like me, because I seen your artwork. I seen a lot of your artwork, and I knew that you were a great artist. So when you think about how you're going to design your clothes, do you lean on that artistic, or is it just like, what is it how do you know when a shirt is ready? Because I've seen your clothing, right? And I've seen what you do with the bleach, with the tearing, with the sewing and all those things. How do you know when a piece is done?
Ooh, that's a good one.
So it's a couple different things I'm gonna say. So sometimes the most simple thing is all you need. So I can do a few little rips, and I can throw a little bit of bleach. It might be like a splash of bleach, and that might be the best. I feel like the best look that I could have got from that shirt, because the simplicity sometimes is best. And sometimes it's just like, I'll look at it, because sometimes it don't just come to me right when I look at the shirt. I'll sit there, like, I'll look at it, and I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do to this one? Try to do something different from the last one. I might take a similar look from one and just try to rearrange it to where it'll like put a big twist on it. Sometimes it just comes out just a great piece of work on accident sometimes. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times, like, it takes a little bit of thought, and sometimes I just know ahead of time what exactly the shirt needs. It's kind of hard to explain how I know exactly, because sometimes I know ahead of time, sometimes I won't know until it comes out.
Yeah,
So,
that's really how most creative people operate.
At least the ones that we talk to, yeah.
Yeah, paintings are the same way. People ask me that question a lot, and I usually say it's done when it's not bothering me anymore.
Yeah, well,
right.
It's
I like that.
What writers like to say is you never finish a piece of writing, you just stop working on it.
Yeah, there's that too.
Okay,
you just
like that.
you get it to a point where it's like, all right, yeah, I can live with this, because you could keep tweaking it forever. Mm-hmm. There is no done. There's no such thing as done. I'm sure that pick your favorite author, whoever they are. I'm sure that as like the book was going out the door, they're like, oh wait, what? Okay, take it. No, come back.
So, do you ever have clothes that are? Do you ever say, "Oh no, this doesn't work," or is everything for sale? Like, do you have like a garbage?
Do you have like a reject pile? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, I have a few that I put off to the side. But the thing about those is sometimes people just glance and end up seeing those, and I don't even mean for them to see them. And they still like them.
Yes.
So,
that happens to me a lot too.
Yeah. It's the same
really
with like
weird
my music.
thing. Yeah. It's like you hate it, but someone else will love it.
Right.
It's the same way with your music.
Yeah, that's how you know it's something for everybody. Like, I make music. I think a song. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, nah, you know what? That's not it. And then my cousin like, what? That's hot. I'm like, okay. But I still don't feel it. Some of what I feel is like my worst work could be somebody's favorite piece. So you never know. But I do have a pile like that, and I'll go back and I can use it as scrap, or I can go back and just make edits or learn new stuff by going back and working with that stuff. So.
Well, that's the best part of mistakes is they, even if you could have a shirt and you're like, okay, this is a total failure. Now, what did I learn from this?
Right.
Well, first of all, don't do that.
Right, exactly.
I have stuff come out like that all the time. Amy, I don't know. You've probably been doing this long enough that your process is pretty down.
No, because I have all kinds of accidents that happen all the time in the kiln where things will get too hot and the glaze will flow over the design, or it'll do something weird, or it'll warp in the kiln, or something strange will happen. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong when I'm making stuff. So I actually have these huge bags in my art studio filled with rejects. And I always have these fantasies about how I'm going to do a paved walkway or something with them someday, but I never do. What actually happens is my friends come over and they raid those bags and they dig through them, because I'm like, yeah, you can have whatever you want out of there for free, because it didn't meet my quality standards to go up on my website. So yeah, my reject pile is huge, but it brings joy to many of my friends.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. I'll be honest with you. I have a bag full of 3D printed filament, both extract, and I have a bunch of parts that are just basically, I have a pile of robots built up that I'm just never going to do unless I can find a machine. And there's machines out there, but unless I get the machine that allows me to recycle the filament and turn it back into a brand new spool, it's just going to sit there. I'm never going to throw it out, though. Never. I didn't spend too much money.
Might as well put them all together and make one big, I don't know.
I thought about that. I thought about seeing what, and actually it's funny. I actually go in and, like, if I know that I made a part that would work for this, I actually go back into the bag, and I always have to pour the whole bag on the ground and then just sift through. It's like, remember when you were a kid and you had the big old box full of Legos?
Yeah, and the one piece that you need is always like way down at the bottom.
It's always at the bottom, because it's always the smallest part that just fits to the bottom. So I got to pour them all out. It's like 1,000, 2,000 pieces on the ground and sift through. That's always the worst. It's annoying, but I feel great when I find it. And I'm like, yes, I knew this was a good idea. I knew this was going to work. It didn't work when I needed it, but I knew this was going to work.
Kept it around.
But I think it's cool, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. I need you to send me one of those Sabres jackets. The jean jackets with the Sabres on the back.
Yeah, yo, those, man. I love that old Sabres logo, bro. I buy everything with the old logo. It's so much better to me. And that black and red it does something, so.
We're talking about the Buffalo Sabres, the hockey team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one piece. It's a jean jacket with this Buffalo Sabres logo on the back. And I don't wear jean jackets, but I would if I had that one.
Yeah.
I would wear that. So I'm gonna need you to send me one of those. Just after this, we can have a sidebar conversation, and you can let me know how much that one's gonna cost.
It sucks because jean jackets so much now. Jean jackets cost way more than they used to.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like harder to come by the jean jacket, especially the color you want. They're nothing less than $79 for a jean jacket. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, and then if you mess it up, that definitely has to.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, I'll be like, I'm not gonna mess this up. I'm not losing this bread.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's interesting. Are you doing anything with the extra money? Do you save that money and put it towards the next one, or does that just go into your bank account with the rest of the money and you do stuff with it?
Since it's kind of like I've been doing it for maybe like 8 months and it's still early, most of that money goes into getting new stuff. So it's really building it up so people see it.
Yeah.
And then once it starts to flow more, then it'll be money that just goes into my bank account that I can just start saving. But I'm really putting back into putting into myself. So I'm still spending money out of my pocket and the money that I'm making. So right now, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's working though. Cause I'm seeing a lot of people with it, everybody posting it, everybody tagging me, and it's looking good. So it's getting out there as far as like the name. Cool. So that really makes me happy. It's not even really about me making the money that I want to make yet. Cause I know in the future it'll come as long as I keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. I think that's true, man. You go spend a lot of money in the beginning.
You already know you got to spend money to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I got one more question for you, and then we should probably start wrapping this thing up.
All right.
But Curtis, if you get to a point where you're going to hire somebody, just you grow your business to a point where you do have to bring somebody on. Do you think you would bring somebody on to sell the clothes for you or to help you make them? Or something else entirely? Like, what part of the business do you like the least?
I would say making them, but it's still I like being creative when I do make it. So that's probably like the least part and the most part I like. So it's kind of hard saying that, but probably making them. But I would probably put somebody on to help make them. Actually, my ex-girlfriend, I showed her how to do it, and she was kind of doing it too on the side. And her creative juices was moving a lot faster than mine. I'm looking at her like, oh, she getting a little better than me. I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm like, okay, how you do this? Because you know what I mean, she had more time on her hands, so she was just making them more. But I just had more of a following, so just
So
like that.
So what is your skill deficit as far as business? So what would be your strength? Let's focus on both too. So what would be your skill strength in a business sense, and then what would be the thing that you think you need to learn the most, or that you're not as good about right now in business?
Let's see. My strength with business is, I want to say my customer service. Real good with customer service. I'm a people person. I try to aim to please. So, for example, something went wrong with a hat that I made one time, and I didn't understand why, but it was a defect in one of the patches that I put on the hat. So she sent me a picture like this was going on with the hat. I was like, really? So I was like, let me see it. So went and picked the hat up, fixed the hat, and I threw another hat in. So she would get a free hat, and like, I'm sorry for you know what I mean, the inconvenience. You know what I'm saying, and I give you $5 off your next purchase time.
Oh, so, Kurt, man, you're killing me over here, Kurt. You lost me at the second hat.
No, but that's important. That happened.
Oh man,
somebody didn't get their Christmas package like in a timely manner, and so I sent them out another package, and then they got their first package, but I let them keep the second package too. They're like, do you want me to send it back? I'm like, nah, keep it. Like, for the inconvenience of not getting the one in time. I mean, you got to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Another thing that I just thought about, and I was talking about it to a friend 2 days ago. So I bought a fog machine from Amazon. And I got it in the mail. It was for a performance. I wanted to use it. So I wasn't able to use it for the performance because I plugged it up and it was making a weird sound and it had like a burning smell. So I was like, oh, okay, let me turn this off. So I emailed the company, and they said, okay, they had real good customer service. They was like, okay, we'll ship you out another one. I was like, so did you want me to send you this one back? They was like, no, you can keep that and you take this one. So now if I really want to, I can get that other one fixed.
Yeah.
It'll sell, but they gave me the option. They said I can keep it. I just felt like that was real good customer service. They worked with me well. They sent it right out, and they rush shipped it for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Good.
Yeah, that's if you're running a small business, customer service is everything, because you're never going to outcompete like Walmart or whatever on price. So you got to beat them some other way.
Yeah,
right.
It's true.
No, that's a
Now,
good point.
the good news is it's not that hard to do, because you're always going to be more invested in making your customer happy than some teenager getting paid minimum wage.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
True.
Yeah.
as long as you can do better than that, you're probably all right.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, what would you say your weakness is, and then we can wrap it up.
Weakness. Business weakness.
Business wise. I know what your weakness is on a personal level.
I know you don't. But anyway.
That left hand. You're not that good at the left hand drive.
Oh, no. It's nice now. It's nice now. I'm telling you.
It's nice now. Okay. All right.
Ambidextrous. But anyways,
Ambidextrous.
Funny because, my mom's downstairs eavesdropping. She's like, your business. So, but I want to say, she says I need to be a little more business savvy. So knowing the actual business, she wants me to go and take some more business classes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'll know every aspect of business.
Do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest with you. If you listen to Makers Hustle podcast,
you might not need to.
You might not have to. We
start
do
from the beginning. Yeah.
Yes, I think we've gone through every general aspect of business, and as we move forward, we'll definitely be diving deeper into the different, more complex aspects of business. But we've talked about finance, marketing. We talk about sponsorships. Help me out, guys. I don't remember.
I learned something today. That you have to, when you have a trademark for your business, you have to not only renew it every 10 years, but at halfway through that time, at about in between 5 and 6 years, you have to report to the trademark office that you're still using it, or they can take it away from you before you renew it. I did not even know this, but today I renewed my trademark, or I had to file the form that says it's in use before I then renew it in another 5 years. So very strange. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's weird.
I didn't know that either.
That's something that you might want to think about. Definitely going to check out to see if Kurt Customs is alive at a web link, and you might want to go do that now since I said it. Somebody might try and go buy it. And
you have until Monday.
Yeah, you have until Monday to go and do that. I'm sorry, it just crossed my mind. But also thinking about that from a trademark standpoint, there might be some businesses out there, and you can go and use the trademark. Can't remember what it's called, but the trademark search engine just as a general search to see if your name or any name similar to your name is already taken. Right? Because you might even find out once you go to do a DBA or go and get a trademark for your business that your name is going. So you might have to rebrand yourself completely.
Exactly. Yeah, that's something I've definitely been talking to people about doing. I found out trademarking costs a lot more than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting off
with LegalZoom.
You said
don't use LegalZoom. They're the worst.
Don't do LegalZoom.
Okay, I just wrote that down and put a circle with
don't use them.
Do not. And it's a lot cheaper to do. Well, first, if you're going to just create a corporation, if I were you, I would just go downtown and get a DBA done, a doing business as, just early on until you get your business going. And then after you've done that, you see your business growing and you feel like you need to go to that next level. Then you can start looking into trademarking the name. All right. Definitely something that, like I said, we're always dropping jewels in this episode.
I appreciate that, man. I need it.
I have 2 trademarks, and one of them I filed by myself without a lawyer. The second one I needed a lawyer, and it cost me about $2,000 to get it.
Yeah. Not right there yet.
I wanted that, so But the first one of just trademarking surly-ramics, the name of my business, was easy because it's a very strange word, and nobody would dispute that. Nobody's out there wanting to use that, at least not at that point in time. So.
Yeah. Right. But the art you can wear one, that's the one you paid.
Yeah, I had to hire a lawyer.
Did you have to dispute anybody for that one?
Yeah, well, it was in use. It wasn't in use at the time that I wanted it, but they initially rejected my trademark because it's words that you can say. They said it was too descriptive because it's sort of like you could say that about something else. So I had to hire a lawyer because somebody had owned it that had a T-shirt company, I think in the 1970s, and they had since passed away and they were no longer using the trademark. So I had the ability to show a precedent that it had already been used in the past as a trademark. So therefore, why can't I have it now? It's not being used. No one had registered it.
Okay.
So yeah, because I was just a regular person, they're like, no. But once I got a lawyer, they're like, oh, okay, no problem. Here's the paperwork. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how often that's the case.
You know what? I'm not surprised at all how often that's the case because I've been doing this whole sponsorship agent thing, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a company as yourself, sometimes they'll just blow you off. But if you show up saying, hey, I represent so-and-so, suddenly they're listening.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
You're the same guy.
The same guy with the same statistics behind him and the same performance in the past. Yeah, but as soon as you have somebody on your team representing you, it's like, oh, we got to pay attention now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we could talk about this forever, but I got stuff to do. So let's wrap this thing up.
Me too. It was game night.
All right.
All right. Recommendations.
All right. So
wait.
Go on, Amy. It's okay. Ladies first.
Nah, it's cool. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. So since you insist, I shall. So my first, this is very funny. My very first recommendation is going to be on Instagram. You can go and check out Curtis's. See, there you go. His clothing line, Kurt Customs, at Kurt Customs, CurtCustomz.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. So you can go and check out Kurt Customs. And then my second shameless plug is I just launched a website for my new STEM program that I'm going to be doing here in New York City. And for the Makers Hustle podcast listeners, I want you guys to do me a favor. So if you would go to moreprogressproject.com. That's moreprogressproject.com. Take a look at the website and tell me what you think. So the website hasn't gone fully live. I haven't started promoting it. I haven't started recruiting kids yet, but the actual website is out. And I need you guys to just, take a look at it and then shoot me a message on Facebook or on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and just give me a little notes, a little bit of pointers. Just tell me what you think, what I need to add, what I need to subtract. It's just a general website, but, I needed something so that when I walk into these donors and say, hey, listen, we're looking to create some partnerships, go check out the website.
Good stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Amy, how about you?
So one of the things I've been working on this past week is I started doing time-lapse drawings again of my artwork. So if you go to my Patreon, Surly Amy, patreon.com, however they work that out, just search for Surly Amy. You'll find me. I posted on there a post that's viewable by anybody. You don't have to be one of my patrons to see it. And you can see a time-lapse I did of a recent drawing about truth. And it's specifically about the fact that we're living in a post-truth society where there's a lot of fake websites out there with fake news stories, and it's really difficult to find the truth. And so I did a whole little project on that, and you can check out that time-lapse. It's actually really cool to sort of see my process of like erasing and starting over and drawing stuff, and it's kind of therapeutic and calming to watch it. It's really neat. And then, based on that, my media recommendation for the week is a really cool app that was created by the Washington Post that you can download and use. And what it will do is it will fact check any Trump tweets in real time. So whenever he says something ridiculous, you can find out if it's true or not. And it will post a little link right underneath his tweet that will say, this is false, or this is true, which doesn't happen very often, but this is false. And it will explain what's false about the tweet and with links so you can verify it. So it's a really fun little app that can save you a lot of trouble when he's trying to claim things that aren't true. And so we will link to that in the show notes. And we'll link to my Patreon so you can check out that time lapse too.
They could have saved a lot of money on app development if they just had a button where you click it and it's Trump saying wrong.
Wrong.
That would have been faster, but
Yeah.
All right. So my recommendation for this week is an artist on YouTube. Amy, you were talking about time lapses, and it made me think of something. There's an artist on YouTube. Her name is Christina Smith, and she does all these time lapse videos of drawings that she's done. And I've been looking at them, and they're really cool. So she doesn't have a whole lot of subscribers, but her videos are pretty popular. Some of them are. She has like 110,000 views, but less than 1,000 subscribers. So I'm thinking she probably had a video or two that hit it big. But let's give her some more. So Christina Smith on YouTube, go check that out.
Nice.
Wow. We really got to look at the metrics on that one.
Yeah, I started paying a lot of attention to numbers lately.
Yeah.
I'm like, why does that... I've learned that there is no... Well, okay, there's a rough correlation between subscribers and views, but if I look down the list of my clients, some people have a ton of subscribers and like no views, and some people have it the other way around. It's so weird. Anyway.
It's just like how some things go viral and some things don't, and you never know what's going to cause it.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the YouTube algorithm is like shrouded in mystery or whatever.
Anyway. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
It's your
Curtis,
turn.
how about you?
All right, okay. Kirk for a recommendation. So my recommendation to anybody that's listening is to go support everybody that's in this podcast. Go support Bill. Go support Jeff. Go support Amy.
Thank you.
And everything that they got going on. Check me out on Instagram. Like Jeff said, Kurt Customs, CurtCustomz, and my regular profile, which you can find like some of my upcoming music and hip hop, is Kurt Genius, CurtGeenius. And if you didn't get anything from this, check this quote out. Go by this quote: "If it don't make money, it don't make sense."
Right.
Yeah. I love it.
So that's it for this week. If you're listening to the show on iTunes, please take a moment to leave us a rating and tell us what you think. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Makers Hustle. If you want to ask a question, give feedback, or suggest a show topic, you can contact us through social media or send an email to info@makershustlepodcast.com. Once again, thank you so much for listening. We love having you here. And while this show might be over, the hustle never stops. See you next week, everybody.
I don't know what voice I was going for.
It doesn't matter.
Halfway through, I
Curtis.
realized.
Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you for having me.
Kirk. Thank you for listening.